Howdy everybody. We got another video coming at you today. This one is going to be one that I did not like the first result, so I just kept doing it until I liked what it was like, and the final results came out way better than I expected they would. So stay tuned. We're going to have some good, some yummy colors, and it's going to be fun. So here we go. All right, so now we've got this titanium white, and I want them to be not super thin. I don't really like my paint super thin. This is going to be Mars black. It looks gray, but it's going to dry black. And then I've got phthalo blue or phthalo green. I've only got 4 colors: the titanium white, the Mars black, the phthalo green. And this is going to be a mixture of lime green and fluorescent green. I want to give that a little bit of pop. And I've got a little dollar store colander on a 16 by 20 inch canvas and a cup. And this was specially requested by you know who you are. And so I'm going to start off with some white. I don't want too much. This was actually going to be the problem for the first pour. Yeah, I'm making a mess, I know. But I put too much white in there, and you'll see why that was a bad idea in a minute. But we're going to correct it. It's going to be good. Then next I'm going to do some of the Mars black. I don't want the white and the black to be layered on top of each other, because if you've watched any amount of pouring videos, you know that the black and white is going to mix to make gray. So I'm putting the green in between the black and the white, just so that, you know, so that they don't mix to make gray. Gray, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have gray. It's just that that's not what I'm going for. That's not the look I'm going for. So I made enough. I've got some other paintings I want to do with this color palette, so I made a whole lot. I'm not going to need anywhere near that much paint. This cup should be more than enough, but I'm going to have to do it again, so you'll see. This first one, I wanted to show you that it doesn't come out perfect the first time, every time. It's just not like that. Sometimes you mess up, sometimes you don't layer the paints right, and this also shows just how important it is to layer your paints in a certain way, and you'll see all of that. And I wanted to show the mistakes too. It's not always just comes out like perfect and sparkles and sunshine and stuff. So, but it's a fun process, and you learn a lot on the way, and it's a really fun process. So I'm gonna finish layering this cup, and then I'm gonna start pouring it in there in the colander, and it's going to seep out the sides, and you'll see the pattern once it goes. So enjoy. Just gonna come back in here and just say, you want to make sure that you don't pour it from too high up and you don't pour it too fast, because if you do that, then you could mix the paints all the way they're all just muddy and all one color, basically muddy, gross color. So you want to make sure that you see that white, that's just too much white. All of that's going to end up in the center, and it's just going to make it you'll see. I keep saying that, I know, but I put way too much white at the bottom. So, and if you can see inside the cup, oh, look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. But yeah, you want to make sure that you, I'm just draining the cup, getting the extra paint out. If you can see the little bit of pattern coming out there, it's just seeping out the sides ever so slowly. And I'm trying to break up that white with a little bit of the green. The only problem is that green is going to sink right underneath that white, and it's not going to make a difference. When we get to that part, you'll see that it didn't make very much of a difference at all. I'm trying to just break up that white a little bit because there's just too much right there. But it's, yeah. So yeah, we're going to skip here in a little bit. We're going to skip to the part where we get to doing the turning, the spin on the cake turner. So here we're going to lift this up ever so slowly. And another problem that I did, another little mistake that I made, was I pulled it up too fast. I was impatient and I didn't let it sit there for enough time. But what I was trying to do was get it off of there before all that white paint got on there. It didn't work like I wanted it to, and the paint right now, you can't see it, but the paint is dripping underneath, and it's making a pattern, which is not that big a deal. I actually enjoy the pattern, but it's too much white for me. When we spin this out, all of that stuff in the middle is going to spread all the way over the canvas. The stuff on the outside is going to slide off the edges. What I'm doing here is I'm making a blanket over top of the canvas so that the paint can flow over the sides of it, because if not, then the paint is going to cling to the fabric of the canvas. So I want to get this paint over here so it just glides right over and I don't lose all of that pattern. I'm going to end up painting over this anyway, but you know, this is what you want to do if you're doing this. You want to this is the importance of a base coat. Not always, but sometimes a base coat can happen. It doesn't have to be pretty because the other paint is just going to come right over top of it. So, and right now I'm just trying to add some interest, trying to break it up in any way I can. So I'm adding little swirls. They'll be magnified as the pieces turned. And right now it's on a cake stand, cake turner, lazy Susan, if you will. And I'm just going to slowly, right now I'm trying to spread the paint out and get it as even as possible. You see how some of it's going more towards one side than the other? I want to do it slowly so I don't just lose all my paint off of one side. So we're just going to slowly do this. And as you can see, it's spreading out, and that middle part is just not looking it's not where I wanted it to be. It's really not. That just does not look good to me. So I mean, I look at it, I'm looking at it, I'm trying to give it a chance. I'm like, okay, let's spin it out a little bit more and see. Maybe we can get some off and get some more. What I wanted the pattern to look like was what you see on the outer layers, but as you can see, it's all coming off and all you get is the middle part, and it's just not. I'm trying to do the other way so that I can get some of that paint off of the other side instead of all of it going off of one end. But I'm already not liking this composition at all, so I already know that I'm going to paint over this. At this point, I already know. I'm just looking at it like, what am I going to do to fix that? I already know that that's not, no. I want it to look like what the outer edges look like, and it's just not working. So yeah, we're going to finish spinning this out, and then we're going to transition to my second pour. Same technique, just I'm going to layer the paints differently, and hopefully it's going to come out a lot better. I already know that it's going to, but you just have to wait and see to find out. Okay, we're back with the second attempt at this. As you can see, most of it came off this side, and it's still not where I wanted it to be. It's just nowhere near what I wanted it to look like. So what I'm doing is I already poured a cup of the layered paint in there, called a dirty pour, I guess you want to call it. And right now I'm just layering it individually, just so I can get the amount of each color in there like I want it to. I could have done that from the beginning, but then for me, I don't like the blocks of color, the big giant blocks of color. I like for it all to be evenly distributed, you know, so it looks uniform. And this is just going to be what the center looks like. So the center is going to be the part that comes all the way out. And I'm just pouring it in there in haphazard ways right now, because I know that when it, as you can see, it's leaking out the side. Once it leaks out the side, you'll have an even distribution of the different colors and everything. I want a significant amount of black in there, because I want the black is going to make that green, that lime green, just come to life. It really is. Once you see it. So yeah, I'm just going to keep layering this until I'm satisfied with it, and then just sit and wait for the paint. Be patient this time and wait for the paint to leak out the side as much as I want it to. Also, I wanted to mention that if you think that I wasted a bunch of paint on the first one and that it's just all going to be, you know, wasted paint, actually, the good thing about that is that the paint that's on the bottom, you remember the first part where I put some around the edges to help it flow? This is just going to help that paint flow. This is my base coat now. It was, at first, it was going to be my painting, but now it's my base coat. It's going to help this new layer of paint. It's going to help it flow over so that I don't have any parts that I miss, so that whenever it's spun out, then the composition is going to stay exactly how I want it to, because that paint on the bottom is just going to let it slide right over top of the canvas rather than grabbing the canvas, if that makes sense. Okay, well, I believe that this is spread out enough. There's still some left in the colander. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm just going to leave that colander right on there. And as the paint flows out the sides, it's going to grab that paint from in the colander and let that flow. It's going to give that room to flow. And already it's looking a million times better. If you can't see that, that is amazing. Oh, I love the colors. They're such yummy colors. It looks like a beautiful peacock feather. I don't know what I'm going to call this one. Maybe you guys can give me some hints on it. I'll probably have it named by the time this video comes out. But yeah, it looks so amazing. And like you can see, the black is just making those greens come to life. Oh my goodness. And the white adds the contrast, so you can see it's just kind of psychedelic, sort of, but not really so much, because the colors aren't, you know, all over the place. I love this color palette though. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep flowing it or spinning it around until it covers the whole canvas. And then the middle part, since the colander's still on there, it's not gonna be blocks of color. It's still, and it's not gonna spread too much. It's gonna spread like the outer edges, because it's still coming through the holes, and the middle part's going to be just as uniform as the outer part. That was another mistake that I had made. And you know, I just, in one painting you can learn so much and and make a bunch of different adjustments that actually make it a beautiful painting. I don't know anybody that would think that the piece before this one looks better than this piece, because this one looks amazing to me. It looks absolutely stunning to me. And I know I keep saying that I want to keep these pieces or whatever, but they are for sale. Each one of my pieces are for sale. I would love to keep this one, but I might just make one of my own for me and just not show it. How about that? No? Okay. But yeah, look at that. Look at the different distribution of colors. The greens, the lime greens, the white and the black. It's just, it gives it so much depth and movement, and just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Now I think what's going to happen is I'm going to take this colander off there. I think enough paint is on there. Most of it is distributed throughout the piece, and I don't know that I like the center being so evenly perfectly round like that. I would have liked for it to mesh with the inside, but there's not really going to be a real good way for me to fix that unless I completely embellish it in a different way. And I really didn't want to mess with it too much. I kind of wanted to leave it as is because I was so happy with the outer edges, the whole piece as a whole. So I kind of just left it like it was. I mean, it's going to spin out and it's going to move around a little bit, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I really do. I know I keep saying that, but I did not expect for it to come out like that. Look at that. I did not expect for it to come out that beautiful. It just looks like so much depth in there. Looks almost 3D. I'm just going to keep spinning it because there's one little edge that is just not getting covered. I think I might just kind of fix that because I keep losing composition every time I spin it. More paint goes off the side, so. But I don't want too much paint to be left on there and it end up cracking, so. It's a gamble. It's like a balancing act, so. But yeah, that's it. That is the final piece. We're going to get ready to show you the wet results here in a little bit. And here we go, the wet results. I just want to say thank you guys again, and thanks for hanging out with me today. And if you like what you see, just leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, pretty please, if you would. And I hope to see you guys again. Just all my Instagram and stuff like that, all my social media accounts are going to be in the description. If you need any help with anything, or any help understanding anything, you got questions or anything, my email, and just hook me up. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.